and promised to officially requisition houses for its homeless population. Ward's final message was simple and direct. Act on your own. No reliance on the politicians, especially those who try to cash in on your success. Stick together and work on as big a scale as possible. Don't give up, and don't give a damn for the authorities. If the vigilantes have these three prerequisites for successful action, independence, solidarity, and determination, we can be sure that their movement will spread over the length and breadth of the land. Through the practices of occupation and squatting, there also exist vibrant urban struggles for housing in Spain and Brazil, arising from individuals and housing movements in response to the capitalist dynamics that have produced empty homes and homeless people. The urban struggle in Greece has arisen in response to the austerity measures wielded against the working class in the cities built overnight in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. The process of enclosure, unregulated by planning law stipulations for public space, eroded traditional communities, commodified housing, and promoted a sense of urban isolation. Many Greek cities still lack such facilities today, leading to a bubbling frustration that has at times erupted in a reappropriation of public space by horizontal collectives. After the police murder of 15-year-old Alexandros Grigoropoulos in December 2008, a wave of protests, demonstrations, and occupations of urban space led by students, immigrants, and the disenfranchised urban youth would highlight the alienation, exploitation, and exclusion built into Athens and work to actively transform the city through decentralized acts of reappropriation of urban space, including public building occupations, barricades, marches, spontaneous artistic events, and disruptions of traffic and commerce. Not limited by a struggle for reforms, the protesters sought to actively project their collective aspirations onto the urban landscape of Exarchia, giving birth to self-managed squats, common parks, social centers, and thousands of organizations, art collectives, and grassroots unions that would teach a generation about direct action and solidarity. The Greek urban struggle is about substituting public space with common space. It's about creating an organic and fluid space for the natural development of community bonds. It's about people seeing themselves as a group, questioning current conditions, identifying their collective and individual needs, and negotiating new forms of coexistence. Though many squats and occupations were only temporary, such liminal commons would still experiment with new spatial practices that could be applied to future struggles. In the wake of the protests, urban farming commons would arise in an abandoned military base in Thessaloniki and a former airport in Elliniko. Both sites were meant to be privatized, but in both cases, instead of demanding that their right of access to urban space was respected, citizens' movements self-enacted this right through commoning. Similarly, community self-defense movements would reconnect power for families who couldn't pay their energy bills. The potato movement would bring together the urban and the rural, cutting out oligopolistic middlemen, and a network of self-managed solidarity clinics, workers' cooperatives, and consumer cooperatives would work to strengthen community resilience and autonomy. Unfortunately, the vision of Exarchia has been significantly curtailed by various political leaders, which should remind us that such urban struggles cannot be isolated from other broader fights. When you think of a solar-punk city, what do you see? I see people free from the binds of a 9-to-5 and the chokehold of their commute, basking in the variety offered by the urban atmosphere. I see wide avenues, varied in their use, murals painted over generations, windmills dotting the horizon, children playing in the street, and rooftop gardens spilling over their sides. What sounds fill your ears? I hear the bell ringing of bikes, the rumble of the tram along a boulevard lined with trees rustling in the wind, the absence of engines and horns, the chirps and songs of various birds filling the air, the hum of collective conversation in each nook and cranny of a public space, and the sounds of laughter and joy from a group of students studying the world around them. What do you smell? I smell the aroma of fresh baked bread, the The tickle of pollen carried by the breeze, the sizzle of various homegrown street foods, the damp, earthy richness of the soil, and the fresh, salty air of a seaside city. We don't need to be bound by the irrational and violent impositions of the megapolis, which plunders the human spirit and the natural world. We have the potential to consciously reconstruct urban life in ways that foster balanced, well rounded, and harmonious communities that provide an open arena for our creative and social needs while correcting the rift between humanity and nature. Powered by local energy sources and carefully tailored to the ecosystems in which they are located, these eco communities can bridge the divide between urban and rural. As Bookchin wrote, nature will not be reduced to a mere symbol of the natural, a spectatorial object to be seen from a window or during a stroll. It will become an integral part of all aspects of human experience, from work to play. Only in this form can the needs of nature become integrated with the needs of humanity and yield an authentic ecological consciousness. Through a blend of ecological integration, decolonial ethos, organic design, and participatory planning, informed by a legacy of urban struggles, we can radically reclaim our right to the city together. All power to all the people. Peace. Hold on. Before you go, I have some big announcements to make. Firstly, shout out to Sean Bodley, who created this beautiful piece depicting a rather vibrant, tropical solarpunk city. He's also the artist behind this piece. He has all sorts of amazing climate art, including illustrations of Octavia Butler's Parable of the Sower, and you all should definitely support him on patreon.com/Sean Bodley. Secondly, shout out to Anna Sorokina, who produced this wonderful work depicting a quieter corner of solarpunk utopia. She has some striking artworks on her website, which you should definitely go and support at annasorokinaart.com. Be sure to follow her on Instagram as well, at annasorokinaart. Also, shout out to Lil Bill for narrating this skit for this episode. His channel is also linked in the description below. The biggest announcement in question, however, is that the Solarpunk Art Collab is back. In case you didn't know, in 2021, I released a video featuring various artists in my community depicting solarpunk ideas. It was such a great success, I'd like to do it again, this time with a theme: bioregion. I want each visual art piece submitted to reflect human societies in a solarpunk setting that are constrained by ecological or geographical boundaries. A lot of solarpunk artwork features temperate environments, but I'd love to see solarpunk pieces in more diverse settings, such as deserts, shrublands, mangroves, temperate and tropical grasslands and forests, and much more. For more information, check out the Discord linked in the description below. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share with your fellow peoples. Thanks once again, of course, to the family, including our newest members, Atlas Altera, Little Easy 100, The Garden Abolitionist Bookstore and Community Well, Liv, and Tom Hutchinson. Join these beautiful humans and support me too on patreon.com/. same truth.